Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Spider-Force, issue number 1 of, I believe, 3. Okay, let's get into who made this so we can start talking about it, and then give you my opinions on where this ish went wrong. Okay, let's get started. So, Spider-Geddon tie-in. Make sure you read Spider-Geddon Part 2 before you read this issue. This is Spider-Force. Priest is the writer. Paulo Seguera is the penciler. Oren Jr. and Craig Young are the inkers. Guru FX, the colorists. VC's Joe Sabino is on letters. Shane Davis, Michelle Delinky, and Morey Hollowell are the cover artists, and the variant cover artists are Will Robson and Morey Hollowell. So also Stanley and Steve Ditko are the creators of Spider-Man. Okay. So this is basically to start off with, this particular issue is called 15 Minutes, because the Uncanny Spider-Force has 15 minutes to live. Kane basically tricks the rest of the Spider team to join up and say, hey man, we're going to go and kick some booty. But again, it was a big trick. And these guys are basically doomed. All of them doomed. Yes, including Jessica Drew, who has a child, and it's referenced in here. Wow, that was messed up. Anyway, they have to put on containment suits to avoid the radiation from the toxic water because it's going to freaking kill them. But they have to try and go after, what's her name? Verna. That's the female inheritor with the haircut that looks like the owl, or a really, really nice and groomed Wolverine. Anyway, so this comic book kind of plays with the heartstrings a little bit, whatever. There is a recruitment. It's funny, we had 5 issues of Edge of Spider-Geddon where they're just nothing but recruiting people. And here, they're still recruiting people. I was hoping at the very least it would get all that recruiting thing out of the way, right? I don't really want to see anybody else being recruited. Like, these people are just going to join up anyway, so the whole, okay, here's what I want you to do. I want you to do this. I want you to do that. This could have been a good, Edge of Spider-Verse story, but I don't know, man. Anyway, that's not actually the thing that bothers me about this. What bothers me is the typical thing that Priest always did. That, yes, this is Christopher Priest from the Black Panther series that he'd done a while ago. How do I explain this? Christopher Priest has this uncanny ability to write a story that is out of continuity. All right, not out of continuity, but more specifically, it's not synchronized. So you'll have, chronologically, it could be all over the place, even though it's the same story. And eventually, if you read the entire story, you will understand the message that was trying to get across to you. If you don't, you're kind of effed. You're totally screwed, blued, and tattooed, baby. But the deal of it is, he's really good at, as long as you read it, you're good. Now, here's the problem I have with that. It's done a little bit way too much. Okay, he apparently did a lot of it in his Justice League from what I hear. I don't know that for a fact because I didn't read that. This is what I've been told. I know for a fact that he's doing it in the Deadpool because the original Deadpool, Deathstroke. I know he's doing it there because I read 7 of those issues, and yeah, they're very, very much out of order. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And I only read 7 issues. It got up to like 35. That's not even a quarter of the issues that I need to read in order to be able to catch up with this guy. So, no, I understand. But still, this cat, as awesome as he is, when you go to the well too often, all right? I remember I was in the martial arts. And mind you, this isn't even my story, okay? This isn't even my story. I was not the winner. I was not the champion in this, okay? I didn't come out like, yeah, I'm the man. So just, quick heads up. Just when I was in the martial arts, before I actually started teaching, before I was good enough to start teaching, I was 14 years old. I was training in a boys' club in Asbury Park, all right? And there was this one dude who had this one move that he would keep on using all the time. Like, he'd been playing Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat in a stand-up arcade, you know what I'm saying, and all that stuff. Actually, I don't even think that Mortal Kombat was out yet. I don't think that came out for another three or 4 more years. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But anyway, yeah, bang, Street Fighter. He acted like he was Street Fighter. He was going to do a finishing move on people, like that special, all you get or Hadouken kind of move, He had this thing where he would bend down and then wait for you to come over, and he wouldn't do anything until you walked over towards him. And as you go, this is while we're sparring, you know what I'm saying? You go walking up, and you get the idea, you know what he's going to do. but he would pop up and do this reverse backhand thing right towards your face every single time without fail. You start thinking that, no, this guy's too smart, man. He's not going to do the same move again. He's going to pop up and like throw a kick, a low kick or something like that, you know what I'm saying? Or do a quick pop and then pop down, or he's just going to do something different. But no, he did the same damn thing every time. We massively overestimated how smart he was. And like I said, this isn't my story. Oh, he got popped. He got knocked on his ass hard. Busted his, didn't break open his head, but he busted his head. You know what I'm saying? Bam! And we used to spar on hardwood floors. All right, there was none of that padding stuff. We didn't do all that. Hardwood floors. Our feet bled. But this one cat who wasn't even that great at it. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't overestimate the guy either. He just sat there and he was just like, I've seen him do this before. So he's do that. He threw a snap kick right up to the dude's face. This guy goes and jumps up, gets kicked in his face, doesn't know how to land while he's in that jumping mode. Boom! Falls on his feet, falls on his ass, boom! Falls right back on his shoulders and his head. And he's just looking up at the ceiling. I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? And he stopped doing the move after that. Now, I'm not suggesting any violence towards Mr. Priest, but I'm wondering, when is he actually going to get kicked in the face? At what point is he going to realize that, sir, I understand you could write me under the table if you were drunk and I were sober, all right? I don't hold a candle to your insanely amazing ability. But you keep on going to this same exact well over and over again, I'm going to have to start re-estimating just how good your writing really is. If you were to write a story from A to Z, straight through, would it actually be as interesting? Or is this the only way you can write well? No, I'm positive you are an amazing writer. But I'm sometimes going to the well a little bit too often, brother. Sometimes, like, I feel that this book could have been better if it were just a straight story. Because, yeah. Here, I'm going to give you guys also, I was thinking about this while I was reading. I'm going to give a little, take a little. Okay? This is to the Comic Book University alumni. Jessica Jones, at one point, you'll notice that she's in a radiation gear. A lot of people are going to be like, hey, whoa, why does she need the radiation gear? She's immune to radiation. Don't forget that she gave up her ability while she was to shape change to save Bill Foster's life. He was a giant man at the time, and he was having stabilization problems, and he was going to freaking die. She gave a blood transfusion to him, and that wound up taking away her radiation immunity. So that's why she's in a radiation suit, because she's not immune to radiation anymore. Anyway, also, this guy shows up. Here's the last page. And it's not really that big of a deal because, I mean, like, he's on the front also. Like, I'm sorry, is that Manwolf? Is that J. Jonah Jameson? Like, who is this freaking guy who just shows up? And he's like, hey, how you doing? He just shows up, doesn't say anything. He just says, breathe. At the end, like, the next issue is breathe. I don't know who this cat is. I don't know who this cat is. But he just shows up, and we're supposed to, like, know who he is. And he's on the front cover, like, we're supposed to know who he is. I don't get it. And I don't like when comic books do that. So, you're not going to catch me and make me go, I can't wait to read this comic book. I'm going to read the next comic book because I'm reading for the audience. You know what I'm saying? But honestly, like, if I'm on my own and I'm just reading my comic books for me, I'm not interested in picking up the next issue. Real talk. I'm not interested in picking up the next issue. There wasn't anything in here that stirred me. I wasn't moved. I wasn't moved by this. The whole writing trope thing, it would have been enough to pull me off, but then the only thing that's supposed to make me want to read the next issue is some blonde dude shows up afterwards. Here's a picture of me, not caring. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think. And also, if you know who the guy is, please, I'm actually curious. All right, guys, it might make me want to read the comic book more. All right, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.